We are now at Düsseldorf at the Boot, the biggest boat show in Germany. The Boot is a very important show. This 2023 edition is the first in which the Boot reopens its doors again, but less emphatically than when it closed them 2 years ago, because now there are fewer boats. Indeed, far fewer boats, but this is due to several reasons. Some exhibitors chose not to attend because their order portfolios are already full for all of 2024, so they found it pointless to show up at a boat show that's held indoors in the center of Germany, and for this reason is rather expensive. Others have different problems, such as the Hans Group, who decided not to exhibit at all. Instead of bringing fewer boats, they chose not to take part in the Boot. Others have just decided to showcase less boats. Here, the most striking case concerns the Dufour, that chose to exhibit just one boat, the Dufour 37. But they also have a full order portfolio, even for many months of 2024. As for us, we're here to see what this boat show may offer after a 2-year stop. Let's find out what the boat show has to offer. But there are nevertheless many boats worth seeing. We're going to visit some of the most diverse, large and small, so as to give you an overview. The first one we're going to visit is the Solaris 50, made by Solaris Yacht. So we start with an Italian builder. We're now at the Solaris stand with Vincenzo De Maria, the sales manager of the shipyard. We're on board the Solaris 50, the latest model that was introduced a few months ago. Hi, Vincenzo.
Hi, Maurizio. Good morning, everyone.
Vincenzo, when was the Solaris 50 introduced?
It was introduced in April 2022.
A gorgeous boat, like all your models. I really love your boats. What can you tell us about it?
The Solaris 50 was born as an evolution of the greatly successful Solaris 50, which was introduced in 2016. We tried to make a few improvements and to keep pace with the innovations, the changes that are likely to be there over the years. This boat is bringing us much satisfaction, both in terms of sales and in performance. The changes, the key features of this boat are the longitudinal tender garage, suitable to accommodate a 2.45-meter tender and unlikely to be found on other boats of this size. We have changed something below deck. We have moved the gallery sink under the companionway in order to expand the work surface, and we have improved some small details. But basically, what really gives us satisfaction is its behavior at sea.
I know you've already sold a lot of them.
Almost 40. We sold 37 boats in less than a year.
That's a lot.
Yes, quite a lot.
Now all we have to do is wait until we can try it at sea.
It will be a pleasure to try it together.
Thank you very much, Vincenzo.
Thanks to you.
Now let's have a look at another boat here at the Boot. Please follow me. We're going to find out what's new in the Dufour shipyard. There's something really new. We are now at the Dufour stand with Giovanni Tarantino of Race Nautica. You should know him as the star of our Yes and No series. Until now, he was the sole star, but now we've found someone who's willing, who had the courage to get in front of our videos, and we'll give him a little bit of competition. Hi, Giovanni.
Hi, Maurizio. Good morning.
We came to visit you because here in Dufour, you have some great news for us.
Today, the new Dufour 41 is launched. An innovative, all-new boat. It's a completely redesigned boat. It is also available in a 4-cabin layout.
So this 41 is going to replace the 412?
Yes, that's right.
When are we going to see it in Italy?
We will have it exclusively for Paris Nautica in June, so in a few months. I invite you to Punta Ala so we can try it. And then, customers who cannot come to Punta Ala will be able to see it in Cannes and Genoa in a few months. So, for the first time, we will be able to perform a test before the boat shows.
See you in Punta Ala. We're now going to visit Vanni Galgani, who is Nautour's development manager and a friend of mine. We'll ask him to show us the Swan 55, the latest model built by the Finnish shipyard. We're now at the stand of Nator, the builder of the famous Swan boats, and more precisely, the Swan 55, the latest model built by the Finnish shipyard. Here with me is Vani Galgani, the product development manager, who's going to show us the boat. Hey, Vani.
Hi, good morning, everyone. The 55 is placed in the low end of our range that, as you know, reaches up to the maxes that are more than 130 feet, and in the middle, between the 48 and the 58, boats that have already met with huge success. However, as is always the case for Swan, we try to give a unique character to each model. This boat, for example, has a very distinctive layout that sets it apart, not only among other Swan models, but among any other boat on the market. Because forward of the mast, instead of a cabin as usual, it has two cabins. What does this mean? It is perfect for families because if you have children to keep under control, you can create your own suite and guests stay aft. In addition, this cabin has bulkheads that can be removed because they are not structural and becomes an integral part of the owner's suite that at that point becomes 6 meters. You can't find anything like that even in Maxis. You can create a work desk, storage space like a walk-in closet, or even an activity lounge accessible from the salon. Aft, we find the VIP cabin with its head, and another cabin that is special because it is designed as a stowage room for long sailing trips. Here you find the generator, the washer-dryer, you may install the freezer, whatever you want. But then, with few steps, it turns into a perfect crew cabin, complete with a toilet, a sink, and even an access from the cockpit. So as you can see, it is very adjustable. On deck, ours are sporty blue water boats, so they are suitable for long sailing trips. 100% cruise boats, but capable to win even important races. We never stop caring about protection and usefulness of the boat in long sailing trips. So much so that on this boat, we find for the first time the new double-action aft platform that opens in 2 stages and doubles the typical space of a bathing platform, becoming a real beach club, as is the case for Maxis. In fact, it was inspired by Maxis.
It's gorgeous.
Well, it is great for kids. I mean, you spend your time in contact with the sea, so you have the cockpit protected by the awnings where you are in the shade. And when you want to be near the sea, you have this huge platform. But it is also great for stowing the tender, because it gives you so much more room to maneuver, and therefore you can handle it better. I mean, as usual, we evolve, but we are always attentive to trends and market demands, and we try to please our customer with their peculiar needs.
Thank you very much, Vani. As you've seen, working with Vani is very easy because he does everything. He's great. And when you get him going, he won't stop. Now, let's go visit the next boat. We're now at the stand of the Cantieri del Pardo, aboard the Grand Solil 40, the latest model introduced by Del Pardo at Cannes. I'm here with Matteo Poli, who designed this boat as well as all the latest models made from the builder from Forlì. Hi, Matteo.
Hi, Maurizio.
Gorgeous boat. Congratulations. Would you like to describe it for us?
Sure. This boat is basically the 44's little sister. The yard aims to replicate the success we had with the 44 on a smaller boat, and so to bring all the cruising and racing features to a smaller model.
You moved the rudder and mast here too.
Yes, even on this boat, I tried to get the mast position as far aft as possible, which of course meant a lot of work for the architects that had to remodel spaces below deck. I must say that the result is an excellent layout, with a galley along the side, which breaks the mold of the latest boats in the market and is very popular.
Is there only one layout version, the 3-cabin layout?
Yes, there is only one layout version, 3 cabins, with either 1 or 2 heads according to the owner's choice.
Thank you very much, Matteo. Let's have a look at another boat. We are in front of the Bavaria stand, the largest stand here at the boot. After all, they are playing at home. They are German, and the boot is the biggest German boat show. We're not going to enter this stand because they haven't brought any new boat. Actually, they do have something new, the Bavaria 46, but they haven't managed to bring it to the show. They're going to introduce it at the autumn shows, Cannes 2023. The Bavaria 46 will be a very interesting boat because it belongs to the 3rd generation of models designed by Maurizio Cazzuti, the Italian designer. Now, instead, I want to take you to discover another boat that will debunk the myth that all boats must cost a lot of money. What I'm going to show you is an interesting, nice boat. A beautiful boat that costs much less than all the others. Please follow me. We're now at Vico Yachts, the miracle shipyard, the Polish shipyard that has the great skill to build boats that are very attractive, yet inexpensive. Here behind me, there's the Vico 35, which is a beautiful boat as you can see, a gorgeous boat. But it costs only 115,000 euros plus VAT and optional equipment. Next to me is Anna Sementina, the sales manager of the shipyard. We're going to ask her for information about the Vico 35.
Good morning, Anna.
Good morning.
Anna, we have the Vico 35. That is your last model. Can you tell us something about the boat?
Yeah, at the moment, it's one of the biggest model we have in the offer. It's one of the most chosen yachts from our offer. And the boat was designed 3 years ago by Sergio Lupoli's studio from Naples. And the boat attracts with the sleek lines, modern design, and very interesting, spacious interior. The boat, which is on the boat show, is this actually the 2-cabin version with 1 head, and this model is also offered in 3-cabin version with 1 head. And the customer has a choice of different extras options. The boat can be customized based on the body water the customer is going to sail and based on the customer needs.
Okay, you've been very, very clear. Thank you very much, Anna.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And so we're done visiting the Vico 35. Now let's have another look here at the boot in Düsseldorf. One of the cool things we found at the boot is this boat here, the Serie 41.2, where .2 doesn't mean second version. Now, they'll explain what it means. This is an Estonian shipyard. The designer is Finnish, and the shipyard is Estonian. We found the boat very well defined and built. Here with me is Nils Nielsen, a tricky name to pronounce. He's the sales manager of the shipyard.
Hi, Nielsen.
Hi.
Sare 41.2. We say that the .2 doesn't mean that it's the second generation. What is?
It means that it is made for 2 people. So it's not the second version. So because we have a lot of customers who come to us and they mostly sail with 2 and sometimes with guests. So we have one option with only 1 cabin and then lots of storage. And one other option is to have 2 cabins, so 1 guest cabin, 1 owner's cabin, and even a lot of storage. For example, if we start at the bow, we have a big sail locker which is watertight. On our boat, we have 3 sails and a dinghy in that sail locker. Due to the sail locker, the front cabin moves a little bit backwards. This means that the front berth is a lot wider. Then we have a couple of lockers in there, so everything you need, lots of room to move around.
And you will say that the boat is a fast boat.
It is fast. With the boat, if you go upwind, you can do 30 degrees to the wind, but the boat is fast and comfortable and easy to sail. So you don't need to trim the sails constantly, which in my opinion is something you want for a cruiser. And even it sails really well with autopilot.
Okay, thank you very much, Nielsen.
And with this, we've also shown you something really special. Let's find out what awaits us now. We are now at Contest Yacht, the legendary Contest shipyard, one of the best-known builders in Northern Europe, as well as in Italy, because they make amazing boats. Here with me is Arjun Kanijan, the owner of the yard. We're going to ask him to describe these 2 boats, which are in fact the same boat, because the hull is the same for both, but with some differences.
Hi, Arjen.
Hello.
Hello. We are on the 50, there we have the 49. 2 boats that have the same hull but different version. Can you explain us these boats?
Yes, of course. So we are here on the 50, and the 50 is the more traditional Contest with the philosophy where the owner is having the aft cabin and 2 guest cabins up front. And with the 49, we changed it, so the owner's cabin is up front and we have 2 really big guest cabins in the aft. It also gives you the possibility to have a large garage for the dinghy. So we feel that the 49 is a bit more Mediterranean style and the 50 is the typical boat to go around the world. But meanwhile, you can also do the opposite.
Yeah, but it's a right way to get all the markets, okay, in the North and the South of Europe.
You don't have to find or look for an alternative.
Okay,
Or
thank
the
you.
other.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome.
We're in the stand of RM Yachts, a much-renowned shipyard. A shipyard that's 35 years old, so it's not very old, but builds very remarkable boats. These boats are made of marine plywood, impregnated with epoxy resin, an extremely solid, elastic, and rigid construction. The deck is made of fiberglass instead. In the inner part of the deck, the boat is protected by a thin layer of marine plywood. Here with me is Cesar Dohai, the sales manager of the shipyard.
Ciao, Cesar.
Hello, welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us something about this model that is your last model, the 1380?
Yes, so she's brand new, as we said, 1 month old. She will be selling in early March. So she's coming from the Mark Lombard design group, like all RM boats. Like all our boats, she has different keel options, different interior options. She can be 3 cabins, 4 cabins. She's a twin keeler with twin rudders, but she can have a lifting keel and a single keel as well. So she has been designed for long distance sailing, and she's not a racing boat. She's a fast family cruiser.
So it's a boat for someone that want to make a very long cruiser, but with the family.
Yes. So she has been designed for easy sailing, for single-handed sailing, but with a family, with child. So everything is very safe, and everything. She has been designed as a simple boat with not so many systems to maintain.
Okay, thank you. One last thing, the price.
So she's 400,000 base price ex VAT. Okay, and for a complete boat with all the offshore equipments, you can go up to 500.
Thank you very much, Cesar.
We are now in the stand of Mencken, a Dutch shipyard. And here with me is Bernard Mencken. As his surname suggests, he is, of course, the owner of the shipyard. They are builders of the Flyer 33, a boat that impressed us with its beauty.
Hi, Bernard.
Hi, Moritz.
Bernard, you produce the Flyer 33. Okay, can you tell us which kind of boat is this one?
Yeah, it's a day sailor, but it is not just a day sailor. The guy who initiated it was former world champion in the cadet class because he really knows about winning. He took Gerard Dijkstra of Dijkstra Naval Architects to design him this beautiful day sailor. It's not only a classic lines, but it is also extremely fast.
So it's not only a beautiful boat, but also we can say that it's a racing boat, but it's a performance boat.
Yeah, it's a performance boat. It's a classic racer. It is designed to be handled solo. You can go out on yourself, have an easy trip and relax and unwind. You can entertain some guests in the cockpit. There's a lot of space outside. But you also can take 2 good sailors on board and win every regatta.
Where do you build these boats?
For 27 years, I'm building my boats in Sri Lanka. I have a cooperation with a large boat yard over there. And we have done 950 boats in the last 2.5 decades.
Just think that once they're built, he puts them inside a container in which they're transported. So the transport is not even too expensive.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Okay, thank you for your interest.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at something else now. We're now entering the world of series productions builders by visiting the Genoux stand. Here we're going to see the Genoux Yacht 55, a model belonging to the luxury range of the French shipyard. Let's go. The last boat in our overview of the Düsseldorf show, the Boot, is the Genoux Yacht 55, the French builder's latest model. Here with me is Claudio Castaldi of Punto Cospicuo, the Genoux importer for central Italy. Hi, Claudio.
Hi, Maurizio.
Claudio, I've been told to have a look at the Genoux 55 because it's a real revolution. What does it mean? Where is the revolution? Actually, I've seen it, but I'm asking you to explain it.
The revolution of this boat is both above and below deck. Let's start above deck. The new 55 Genoux yacht, as well as the 60 and the 65 in the Sun Odyssey range, features our ramp that only Genoux has as a structure. Above deck, we have 2 very large aft sun decks, with 2 big tables that can be pulled out electrically, so we can choose whether to have the table or the sun deck. They are both covered by a bimini or a hardtop structure, as is the case for the 60 and the 65. So we can choose either the bimini or the hardtop. Hard, undeployed, so we have a lot of choice. Below deck, we find a very large owner's cabin with its head, and a very spacious dinette area with a home-like galley with a lot of space. Outside, there is an entrance for 2 more cabins.
And this is one of the key elements of the revolution.
Right. So each cabin, since it has an external access, has its own head and its own refrigerator inside, which means total privacy.
Total privacy guaranteed. But I'm also seeing that the steering wheels have been placed far forward, very far forward, and aft of them, the cockpit benches have turned into large sun decks.
Right. The steering system of the boat is made and designed so that you can really sail single-handed. So you can handle the whole winch and sail system directly from the wheelhouse, and the aft area is for relaxation only.
They're right. The boat is actually a revolution. Come have a look at it, because it's a very interesting boat. Let's close this special issue. I hope you found it interesting. If so, please let us know. Give us your like. See you at the next SVN Network video.
Con SVN Solovelanet.